And welcome back with Coach Atchley there, Greer ball. And, Coach, you get the big win over Lexington Catholic, first win in school history over the Lex Catholic football. And I know your ball club put up 56 points tonight.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Well, a lot of it comes down to the wizard, Joey Thacker, and his ability to call plays, but just putting us in the greatest of spots. But these kids are the ones that have to go out there and make those plays. And for us to put up 56 points and jump out early and get the 30-something and have to respond and kind of get the momentum back is a testament to these kids and the time and effort they put in and how much time they want to work at their craft and really just making sure that we have the most successful year possible. And ultimately, putting up that many points is awesome, but when you boil it down to when you want to go deep into the playoffs and make a run, you've got to get stops. And so there were times early on we were able to get them, and late we got them too. But there was a period in there where it wasn't so good. So thank the Lord we put up 56. So.
And Coach, they put up some quick strikes. I think they scored 15 points in the first minute of the second half. What'd you tell your ball club over there on the sideline when they were making that run at you?
Well, over time, if this was 4 years ago, we'd have probably folded. You know, and it's taken time to get those kids to persevere through the off-season program and making sure that they're going to work as hard as possible to understand it's not always going to be easy, and sometimes people are going to punch back, and to be able to jump out, I think we had the tendency to let off the gas, but again. A couple years ago, we wouldn't have won that ball game, and so I'm ecstatic with the growth of these kids for 4 years with pretty much the exact same coaching staff the entire time, and it's what it takes, the continuity in order to build success, in order to win big-time games like this against an unbelievable opponent that each year is at the top of 3A. You
and I talked in the pregame, on your pregame interview, we talked about Logan Nevis and what he does, running, operating your offense, running and throwing the football. You kept Catholic off guard because they didn't know if he was going to tuck it or if he was going to throw it because you have a lot of weapons there. Let's take a look back here at a replay and tell us about this play, Coach, with Nevis there.
Yeah, that's some trickeration. Again, the wizard Joey Thacker devised some things that put us in a really, really good position. But that's something where Logan's able to get us to the line and get set. And a big part of our offense is screens. And if we're going to be successful each and every week, we're going to have to be really good at screens and getting our linemen who aren't 6'6" and 300 pounds across the board.
I like this play because it's a Burton going with it and takes it the distance. Just turned on the Jets, didn't he?
Yeah, Drayden's got a different gear, 200-meter state champion last year, the year prior, in track, and he's one that's a big-time player for us, and be able to get him on some trick plays and get him out in space is something that's advantageous to us.
Yeah, and here's that 65-yard, and man, he had another gear there too. Logan did.
He's a speedster as well. I mean, one of the hardest workers we got. I gave him the #1 jersey for a reason this year.
Yeah.
He's a heart and soul leader that just is kind of a blue-collar throwback player.
Right.
And we need him to be playing at the highest of levels at the biggest of games.
And here's Schnurr, who had a big game for Lex Cath, had about 6 catches, almost 100 yards and a touchdown, and he's a gamer too for Coach Perry, isn't he?
Yeah,
but what a play here by your 52 there, your linebacker.
There were 2 times. Yeah, Ben Whitman and then he cramps after that. But him and Josh McClurg chased him down in order to extend some drives. And Josh McClurg's tackle that was almost in the exact same corner was huge for us because we were able to get a defensive stop. And here you go, Drayden Burton again.
Yeah, 13 again, Burton. Yep. And he runs faster than his father, doesn't he?
He does run faster than his father.
Yeah, a little bit quicker.
His younger brother Jagger got his dad's speed, and I think Drayden got his mom's.
Yep, and that's this young man right here. That's why Purdue likes him. The stiff arm there, and he's a good student. He's a nice young man. Little P came out, went one-on-one with him. You can see that. And Dylan's not a big talker, is he? I mean, he's not a guy that's going to boast or brag about what abilities he has. At least he didn't with Little P. Little P's a little intimidating.
That's right. Little P. He's a firecracker. That's
he
for
is.
Sure.
That's for sure.
But no, Dylan hates the limelight. I mean, if that boy could just be as quiet as a mouse and just go out and play football, that's the #1 thing he loves to do. And he's again.
But I didn't like at the end of that play there. He was pretty deep into the Logan there, Nevis, and pretty deep into the end zone, and had his leg kind of twisted there. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's doing all right. Yeah, that was something I talked about with the officials, just thinking about injuries at the end of the game, and we all want to get back and get healthy, and they've got district opponents coming up, and so do we. So
I said on the broadcast, I've never understood why they let officials allow. It happens at college level. They tackle guys 5 yards deep into the end zone.
Yeah.
I mean, why isn't that called more? It's never called.
It's unfortunate. I think the biggest thing I think about is just the safety of the kids.
Yeah, the safety.
And they want to do all kinds of things, like take Dylan out when they thought he had a concussion, as an official. And and again, that's what we have to do, in order to keep these kids safe. But ultimately, you're right. I mean, 5 yards deep in the end zone, he's obviously crossed the goal line. All the ball needs to do is cross the goal line for a touchdown. Blow the whistle and let's go.
Yeah. But anyway, he's okay. That's a good thing. And you've got Walton Verona, the Bearcats. Your task now is to make sure your ball club's focused and you beat Lexington Catholic and you roll on to the Bearcats, who are a pretty good football team.
They're an unbelievable football team. Jeff Bart does a phenomenal job with that bunch. We're 1-2 in 3 years against them, so this is year 4, and they've beat us in some dog fights and some slug matches, and they run an offense that's, as a lot of Northern Kentucky teams are, incredibly fundamental, and it's something where they can keep the ball from our offense, and they've done it before.
Right.
And last year I felt like we were gelling, and we came out really, really great, kind of similar to tonight, and then we were able to kind of wear on them a little bit, but ultimately they're as well coached and fundamental of a team as we can play each and every year, and that's why we continue to play them.
Coach Atchley, before we let you go here on the post game, thanks for joining us. And Mingy beef jerky, I believe we got some Mingy beef jerky coming your way, Coach, and I know that's good stuff. So one of our big
hope we got some Cajun over there.
Cajun,
starving to death.
I don't know. I asked for Cajun earlier myself, Coach, and I think we're out of Cajun. But what did you tell your ball club? I know you spent a lot of time with them down on the field, talking to them after the game.
I just, I've grown so much as a young head coach to understand it's about these kids and keeping their psyche in the game. When things start to unravel, we as coaches have to control our emotions in order to make sure that these kids believe we can still go win. And so our conditioning, has helped us in a lot of games. And then tonight I need to find some answers. And ultimately, talking to those kids about just continuing to gut it out, continuing to throw young guys out there. And when the lights are bright and the eyes are big, you just got to make plays. And that's all it boils down to each and every week. Is the best team that's probably the best coached and practices the best, and it continues to just be successful in the things that they do and not get crazy, is the team that's going to continue to roll on and deep in the playoffs.
And one thing that'll get their attention is all you got to say is Walton Verona's coming in there. We're 1-2 against them in the last 3 years. That'll get their attention right there. Oh, you're right, Coach. We got to get up for this team. So thank you, Coach Atchley.
Thank you.
You're doing a great job here.
Thanks,
with this Lexington Christian football program. Thanks for having us out here. We enjoyed it. William will be back next Friday with the Walton Verona game.
Awesome.
So looking forward to that. Thank you, Coach. And thanks to Terry Johnson, too, the outstanding athletic director here at Lexington Christian. Thanks to all the folks. For Coach Mike Meehan, for William Warfield, and Coach Ethan Atchley, this is Gary Ball. The final score, Lexington Christian 56, Lexington Catholic 36. Until next week, thanks for watching a White Greer Maggard High School Football Game of the Week.